Welcome to Story Capital, where history and strategy drive success.
In the bright neon-soaked landscape of the early 1990s, one name stood for attitude. That name was Sega. While Nintendo built a kingdom on family-friendly plumbers and princesses, Sega cultivated the cool, the rebel, the edge. It wasn't just a company. It was counterculture, wrapped in plastic and silicon. Marketing was loud, unapologetic, and direct. Genesis does what Nintendo don't. It wasn't just noise, it worked. The face of rebellion was a spiky blue hero, fast, impatient, full of swagger. He was the antithesis of slow, methodical platforming. To own a Genesis felt like belonging to an exclusive club, a generation's restless energy in cartridge form. But beneath the unified roar, a rift formed. Sega of America versus Sega of Japan. Two entities, clashing philosophies. America, led by Tom Kalinske, pushed aggressive marketing and software momentum. Japan, under Hayao Nakayama, was conservative, hardware-focused, and increasingly distrustful. A quiet time bomb ticked. While Sega fought internal battles, another giant nursed a wound and plotted its entry. That giant was Sony. No initial plans for its own console, just a partnership with Nintendo. The plan, a CD-ROM add-on, the PlayStation, bringing massive disk storage to cartridges world. Then, the shock. After Sony's proud announcement, Nintendo publicly jumped to Philips. Public humiliation. Insult turned to ignition. Galvanized, Sony reforged the project, not an add-on, a standalone console. PlayStation was born. Armed with CD-ROM mastery and motivation, Sony sought a partner. Its gaze fell on Sega. Sega had software, market presence, rebellion. Sony had hardware prowess, deep pockets, distribution. Ken Kutaragi pitched, join forces to build next-gen gaming. Kalinske's team recommended yes. In Japan, the answer was dismissive. They laughed, seeing Sony as a mere stereo company. Sega slammed the door on salvation. Sony walked, twice rejected, now fiercely independent. The first E3, 1995. Anticipation electric. The console wars were about to begin. Sega moved first. Tom Kalinske had a surprise. Saturn wasn't coming later. It was available immediately. Price, $399. Shock turned to anger. Retailers, blindsided. Fall launch games not ready. The move backfired. Partners alienated. Consumers confused. Momentum stalled into bewilderment. Later, Sony took the stage. Tension thick. Steve Race walked to the podium, set down his notes, drew breath.
$299.
He left to thunderous applause. In 3 syllables, Sony undercut its rival. Powerful and affordable. A cannonball through Saturn's hull. A $100 gap Sega couldn't cross. The Saturn never recovered. Sony's masterstroke hurt, but Sega's deadliest enemy was inside its walls. The conflict boiled over. Sabotage by stalemate. Sega of America pushed for an affordable, easy-to-program 3D path with silicon graphics. Japan rejected it, insisting on the more complex Saturn. On paper, marvel. In practice, a nightmare to develop for. Sony's cleaner design drew developers as Sega's slipped away. Every strategic lever became a fight. Japan overruled America repeatedly. Kalinske's frustration grew as wins were dismantled and counsel ignored. Paralysis set in. While Sony moved in lockstep, Sega battled on 2 fronts. The surprise Saturn launch, symptom of dysfunction, not strategy. The once fastest player was now slow, clumsy, indecisive. A house divided. Its foundation crumbled in public view. Even after the Saturn, Sega wasn't ready to surrender. They mustered one last stand, the Dreamcast. Launched in 1999, it corrected Saturn's sins. Sleek, powerful, far easier for devs. Visionary, the first console with a built-in modem for online play. A stellar lineup drove a record-breaking start. Fans were ecstatic. Momentum surged. The rebel spirit flickered back to life. But the shadow remained. Saturn's losses drained budgets and trust. Marketing muscle was thin. Partners were wary after years of missteps. Then came PlayStation 2. Hype, developer gold rush, and a built-in DVD player. At DVD prices, PS2 was a 2-for-1 value households couldn't ignore. Dreamcast couldn't compete. Sales plummeted. Losses mounted. In early 2001, Sega ceased Dreamcast production and exited hardware forever. Today, on February 3, 2026, Sega's name still resonates. Differently, the titan of hardware now thrives as a third-party publisher with beloved characters. Survival is its own victory, but the dream of defining the platform is now a ghost of what could have been. That $299 moment is legend, proof one perfect move can pivot an industry. A masterclass in pricing, positioning, and understanding the consumer. Steve Race proved brevity can thunder. Nostalgia and melancholy linger. The Rebel King's fall felt personal. What if Sega had partnered with Sony? What if Saturn was different? What if Dreamcast had time? Ultimately, pride was the costliest asset. Ego clouds judgment. Division kills momentum. Without unity, humility, and a shared vision, even empires crumble. Sega had the tools, but fought itself. The market delivered the verdict. Game over. No more continues.